Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Charlita. This is More Peace, and this is Heal Talk, episode 20. If this is your first Heal Talk, I do encourage you to go check out 1 through 19 in your free time. I greatly appreciate the support. Thank you for tuning in. This week's topic is going to be touching on being present with or about your past. And I know that may be a little bit uncomfortable to some. A lot of people don't like to address their past. A lot of people don't like to look at their past. A lot of people are trying to move from their past respectfully, of course. Completely get all of those things. However, a lot of people may not be aware that they are carrying their past with them in their present. I believe that we can evolve and grow higher, deeper, expand. But our past is very important to who we are in present day. And you can't necessarily forget about your past, because your past is what brings you to the present and takes you to the future. But this particular topic of being present with or about your past sparked interest in me because of a little bit of personal matters. From the outside looking in, I notice that some people who I love, that I would consider a part of my circle, we all are journeying through life, trying to make sense out of what doesn't make sense. A lot of people tend to get stuck in perpetual cycles simply because they don't want to look at what's gotten them to their present moment. And I can attest that to the past. What's that saying? Those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. Is that how that goes? Yeah. A lot of people can point the finger at the past and say, well, because of that, this is the way that I am today. I encourage you to not become a victim of your past, but to triumph in what it takes to do the work to heal from those experiences. Experiences that may be less than favorable. Childhood traumas, abandonment issues that may form into codependency, things of that nature. I have someone who I consider to be near and dear, although we don't communicate that often. But the love is there simply because of history. Now, I'm not going to disclose any personal information about them, but this person in particular has struggled with their past, and I feel like I can speak on this topic, of course, keeping their privacy, confidential, but use it as a tool to help heal them and others who may be able to relate. this person suffers in present day due to the lack of accountability that they challenge themselves with due to their past. You know, nobody's life is perfect. And I feel that, we all must experience things to learn from them. Of course, I feel like that's what life is all about. The peaks and valleys. But you've got to be willing to start at the bottom in order to get to the top of any mountain. So I feel like when a person can look at their past and only pull the negatives from them, well, then that is the energy that they will exist and coexist with others in. When they don't feel good about themselves, that is what they exude outward. And sometimes it's difficult for them to see because they're too close to it. They're in the thick of it, I guess. But I encourage anybody who is in the thick of something, who just can't see light, who just feels darkness, depression, the negativity, the low vibrating energies. Some people like to call them demons. I heard this very interesting quote not too long ago that said, people kind of think of the concept of heaven and hell as something that happens to people when they pass on. But in all actuality, and I'm not saying that you have to believe in this, but it resonated with me. In all actuality, the heaven and hell is very much so present if you are alive. It's all in the matter of which you choose to live in. Life is going to present moments of heaven, and life is going to present moments of hell. But you get to decide the energy in which you dwell in. So, if you are caught up in your own personal hell, I encourage you to, of course, examine ways that you can experience heaven once more, but examine the reasons why you choose to dwell in your own personal hell. And how do you feel you can overcome that? And are you willing to do the work that it takes with acknowledging the part that you play in participating in your own personal hell? Because it's not anybody else's fault that you are experiencing your life the way that you perceive it. It is all you. And if you want happiness, true peace for yourself, then you have to figure out what peace is to you. You have to figure out what happiness is for you. And you have to sit with those things from your past, examine them and figure out what it is within yourself that allows you to keep perpetuating the cycles and bringing them to your present. You have to figure out if you're willing to let those things go. Acceptance and what was that has brought you to what is. A lot of times, people like to point or pin blame on their upbringing. But I say this, we don't choose, or some people believe we do choose our parents in kind of a mythical, celestial way, spiritual way, that we choose this life before, we live it. And again, no one's life is perfect. No one walking this earth is perfect. We don't have the stereotypical or maybe ideal upbringing that we dreamt we've always wanted for ourselves. Maybe that's your experience. But I encourage you to find the good, because it always exists if you choose to believe it does. You may not have the mother that you always wanted, but she is the vessel that brought you to where you are. And without that vessel, you would not be. So if you have to simply give thanks and gratitude for that, then that alone is to be respected. You may not have the father that you always dreamt of having, but without his part and without his participation, again, you would not be who you are, where you are, and therefore you cannot get to where you are trying to go. It's not about them. It's not about the experience of your past, although it is, simultaneously. It's about what you choose, how you choose to show up, how you choose to view things, and how you choose to overcome those things. If you don't want to be a victim, then don't be a victim. Figure out how to heal from it. If you want to be a champion for yourself. And know that it's possible. There is light and darkness in all of us. But again, it's your choice. Do you want to dwell in hell? Or do you want to thrive in heaven? The choice is yours. And that is where I am going to conclude things today on this Heal Talk. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you took some gems, and I hope that something resonated with you and that it was relatable. Furthermore, if you feel like someone could benefit from this topic, I definitely encourage you to share this video with them in hopes that it will aid in their healing process. Each one, teach one. I'm a firm believer in that. Go ahead and like this video if you made it to this point. And again, I thank you. Leave me some love in the comments. I greatly appreciate it. Check out the More Peace merch. All of that helpful information, life coaching sessions, merchandise, all of that good stuff is listed down in the description below. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. And I will catch you guys in episode 21. And I may be in front of the camera